Well, hey everyone, it's Kelly the Frugal Fun Mum here in Adelaide, Australia. Welcome to the channel, and to today's video, it's actually recorded on the Easter long weekend, and I've decided to use this time to get through all of our washing. We have Mount Washmore and a half, and I really need to get on top of everything. So I'm washing towels and clothing and just about anything that's around. We often have piles of clothes that we just stack up and wait till some get big enough to wash. Other stuff gets washed frequently, like my fitness gear and the other towels, but there are some things that I just let go. So I've decided to go through everything and clean it all up. So I start with just collecting every mortal thing I can around the house, and then yes, I make piles in the corridor, which the family get a bit irritated at, but it keeps me on track because then I know these need to get cleaned and done. So I thought that I would just take you along with the journey today. We would see how many loads that we do and hopefully just inspire you to do some laundry yourself maybe. The weather is completely shocking today, so I'm taking a huge gamble. It's already rained this morning, but I figure having towels outside would be okay because they need airing, so that's worthwhile. So load 2 is finished. We're going to pull that out and then we're going to put in the next one. I've got a plastic bag that I filled with clothes because I ran out of baskets. I tend just to grab anything I can to stick stuff in to keep it up and off of the floor, because we all know that there are things called floordrobes, and that's what happens in our house. It's time to strip the beds. I do wash our bedding at least once a month, if not sooner. I know that it should be done weekly, but life, hey, at least it gets done. We all have at least 2 sets of bedding each, so if one set doesn't get washed or dried or whatever, or dirty, we can swap over quite easily, so that's pretty good. So it does tend sometimes meaning that I will just strip the beds and then wash all the things another time, which is what's happened here with all the other sheeting. I kind of saved it all up. So if today's washing doesn't get dry in time, we in trouble. The clothing finished from before I had to get dinner ready, so my hubby hung it up on the clothes rack inside, so thank you very much to him. And then the next day is here, and I'm just folding up all of the towels and tea towels and clothing, cleaning cloths, and I'm actually folding them and putting them into the basket as I go, because I figured this then will be easy to put them away. I normally just throw them all into the basket and then deal with it when I'm inside, but then I know the basket sits there for days and days, so at least if I've folded it while I'm doing this now, then it's done. I'm actually listening to an audiobook. I'm finishing off The Clockmaker's Daughter from Kate Morton. I'm addicted to it, so that's also why I'm doing so much laundry, because I decided that I could listen to the book if I was busy cleaning, so that's why I'm keeping busy. I decided to take the risk to hang this second load of washing out. My hubby can read those map radar things on the internet, and he said to me that it wasn't going to be raining for many hours. So I thought, cool, I'm going to hang this stuff out so it can get aired. He had some of his work clothes and other things needed to be washed, so I chucked some other stuff in there. When in doubt, wash it out. And also just some other bits and pieces that I found around the house. I'm doing a quick tidy of the bedroom down the side because it tends to get really dusty in our room for some weird reason. It's really odd. And then making the bed, this fitted sheet some days does my head in. And the quilt inside the quilt cover, it's always bunching up, and that also does my head in. But you know, what can you do? I'd really love to make over the bedroom and change the colours up. We've had this same scheme for about 10 years now, and I loved it, but now I'm just looking for something a little bit more lighter and airier. I'm sticking all of my pillows back on the bed. My husband said there's like 27 pillows. There's like 8. But you know, 27 is a good number for him. Okay, that last load has finished, and it was black towels that I washed on their own because they produce a lot of lint still after a year. I have no idea, it does my head in, but I make sure I clean out the lint filter each time I wash clothing because sometimes it just builds up in there, and I clean some towels and clothing separately so it all kind of, yeah, doesn't transfer from one to the other. Pulling down all the fitted sheets that are there so I can now make the beds, and then hanging out those towels, and finally feel like I'm on the last stretch. Okay, so we're now going to pull down the clothes that are dry from the lounge room from yesterday because I need the space to put up the next load. It's coming early evening and it's starting to drizzle a bit outside, so I'm gonna put these here because then they can stay for a day or two. Plus I've probably just dumped the last load of clothing onto my bed because I'm running out of baskets again. It is like 2 days later, not going to lie, and the towels have been outside drying. So here is my perfectly foldable method, chucking them over the shoulder. And then we're just going to shove a couple of these into the cupboard. We will fold one nicely so it's in the spot, but I have plans to come back and declutter. So I figured, let's just do reality and shove things where they go because that's how life happens. And yes, as you can see, it's a couple of days later, so we're pulling apart the clothing that was drying, and yes, this is exactly what happens. The baskets literally get dumped in my room, and then when I want to go to bed, then they get moved and dumped on the floor. Yes, I know that I should put them away. Guess what? Welcome to the Really Real Show. This is what happens in our house. All right, we need to fold this fitted sheet. So we find the corners, turn them inside out, fold them and put them together perfectly. And then we just kind of mismatch up the rest of the fitted sheet and fold it not perfectly. And then we know what it is when we look at it in the cupboard. Look at that. Ta-da! So we're going to do exactly the same with the black queen fitted sheet that we have. I think this sheet is nearly on its last legs. We've had it for quite a while. It just a bit weird. I actually think that I need to do some strip washing of some of the sheets. This is just a tablecloth thing that clearly didn't get all the powder off. It happens sometimes in our washing machine, so I will send that back to be re-washed with some other clothes down the track. That's probably what's happened with some of the other clothing. I've gone to look at it and seen that it's not clean, and so it's gone back in the pile to be re-washed, and because I know it's not urgent, it's just sat there for a while. I'm just folding up the rest of the clothes that we have here and kind of then designating where they're gonna go. Some of them will literally get folded up and stick back in the basket because I need to sort out the wardrobe and the cupboard, and I have some clothes that are specific for Zumba. They go in a separate area, and then just general clothes. So yeah, everything just kind of gets moved around. Second basket of washing here, just dumping it out, and I'll just throw the underwear and stuff into the drawers. I finished my audiobook. Otherwise, if I was still listening, I would sit there and fold, but I'm also pressed for time to do some other things, so I'm just throwing them all away, and I will sort and organize later. Anything else that's left over will literally just get dumped inside of baskets and probably dropped and left on the floor until I have an audiobook, I have more time, or it gets in my way and I want to deal with it. I'm going to shove the towels and leftover bedding back into the cupboard. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. Let me know if you like laundry or do you leave it to the last possible minute. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye.